steps that are included on the monitor. It will walk us through first selecting a leaf from this table here, placing it in one of the bowls we have there, into the mortar bowl, and then using the pestle to grind it up. And so now you can pick up that pestle, you can grind up that leaf. I think it should be 3 times, and then that will be, you'll have to do it, I think, one more time with the pestle.
Okay.
And then that. There you go. Oop, dropped it on the ground though.
Oh, I'm just close to my table. That's fine.
Yeah, I
But
know. I know.
I
run
did
into,
that before, and I have a lot of practice in this particular module. The only,
okay.
the reason why I joined this meeting today is more about the
Yeah.
creator space. I know about these
Yeah.
labs,
Okay.
chemistry and physics labs.
Yeah.
If you directly take me to the creator space,
Yeah.
maybe.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll bring us over there.
It shows download completed, unpacking spawnables for me. But I have already downloaded this before as well, the same creator space sandbox. Why it takes time more than like a minute sometimes to complete load?
And we had one in the last few days. It will have to redo that process.
Okay, it always takes me time to download whole module.
Yep. So, I mean, it only took you about, I would say, 20 to 30 seconds to
No,
get in, which,
this because I already did that before joining this meeting 5 or 6 minutes before. But if I will keep the headset for more than 2 or 3 hours, yeah, I will shut down the headset and I will come back and log into my account. It will again take me more than 2-3 minutes to download. Yeah,
okay. When you say 2 to 3 minutes, so the load times you just had right now,
it's less than 1 minute.
about 20. Yeah. So you're saying typically it's much longer than that?
Right, it is. I asked this question to Kathleen, one of your colleague, I guess. She said the same thing as you said, that first time it takes more than 5 minutes, but the second time you load it hardly takes less than 30 seconds. But no, it
Right.
always takes me more than that. But if I will do it again
So,
now, and like I will go back to the main page, and if I will go back to the creator space now, it will take me less than 30 seconds. But after 2
yeah.
hours, 3 hours, it will take me again 5 minutes or maybe less than that.
The only time that it should be taking a significantly longer amount of time would be, like I said, after an update. And we've been running a lot of updates recently.
Yeah.
We typically do them every 6 weeks, but it's been more so like every 1 or 2 weeks. So you may keep encountering that. It shouldn't be the load times you just experienced now. If you try again in 2 or 3 hours, it should not be any different unless you have a change in the speed of your internet.
Okay, let's see. Okay, I had my first training with Danny. I think I should tell you
Okay.
this.
Mm-hmm.
He really, helped me with a lot of questions, and I really
Yeah.
enjoyed training. But
Yeah.
I forgot to ask him. He bought some spawnables from the menu.
Mm-hmm.
And hydrogen and oxygen. After that,
Mm-hmm.
we tried to create a product H2O, and after that
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what he did. Suddenly he bring an image from the menu, and
Right.
the bottom of our the space, as you see in a like is a sand kind of space under us, it changed into water. So I don't know how
Yeah.
to do that. Like, this was also one question.
Yeah.
if you bring some,
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
how you did that? I just want to know.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So if you look at your left wrist as if you had a watch on, and then
Mm-hmm.
you pull up the menu there,
Okay.
you should now be seeing first you'll see the information about the current room. So who's in the session with you?
Right.
As the host, me, I can do things like mute people, teleport people, I can freeze people, I can turn on 3D voice. So if I want one group working over there, another group working over there, and I don't want them to be able to hear each other, I can turn on 3D voice so that only people who are within close proximity can hear each
Mm-hmm.
other. In the bottom left hand corner of the menu, you'll see spawnables.
Right.
And once you select that, first you'll be in the special objects collection.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you'll find these special types of spawnables, such as floor swappers. So you'll find if you go to the third row down, you'll see a floor swapper and then in parentheses, realistic water.
Mm, for floor swapper, cut grass, and invisible,
Yep. So if
sunset
you go
light.
to that, the third row down, so if you scroll down, ooh, that is going to be the water volume. I'll get rid of that for us. And I just want to make sure you can find that floor swapper realistic water. It's in the third
Water.
row down, all the way over
Realistic
on the
water.
left hand side. Yep,
Can you
there
see
you
it
go.
now? Okay.
Yep. So that special
Okay, I
object
didn't know that.
collection has things like we can change what the floor looks like. You'll see skyboxes. So the skyboxes change what the sky looks like.
Right. Right.
And but now we don't have any lighting. So what I can do is
Okay. Chris, sorry to interrupt you again. I just
yeah.
want to know advanced kind of training here. I
Hmm.
hope you
Yeah.
understand my question here. The thing is like,
Yeah.
I just want to be a more innovative for the students so that they can,
Yeah.
really enjoy my session, and they can give a
Hmm.
good feedback after completing the session. So
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
I believe that you have all that knowledge. I know the basics.
Hmm.
I know everything. But if you really
Yeah.
help me with the things which are very innovative for the students as well, in terms of
Yeah.
subject related questions only, that will be great.
Yeah. Yeah. So is there like a specific subject you'd like to
See,
maybe look at?
I'm teaching biology adventures, and I am also teaching them chemistry, physics. So these three
Okay.
subjects I'm teaching them, so related to these kind of thing, like what Danny did last time. He brought some spawnables like hydrogen and oxygen. I didn't know that, but yeah, then he changed
Yeah.
that floor into water, and that was really cool. But
Yeah.
students, when students will see something similar, they will be like, wow, yeah, I want to do that. And
Yeah.
that's the only thing that I think that which will amaze them.
Yeah. Absolutely. So how about we look at some of the different spawnables that are available to you? Um, and we can look at, which ones maybe would be a good fit for your class or ones that you think would be a good fit for your students would be interested in. So I'm going to bring in just a bunch of different spawnables here and we can kind of go through and look at them all and we can maybe have a discussion about, how you can use these in your own class. So,
Let's
um,
bring human anatomy, maybe human little heart, or
yeah,
maybe organs, vital organs.
yeah.
We can
Have you
easily.
been to our cadaver lab yet as well?
Yep, myself,
Um,
but I saw the videos as well
okay.
on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. And now we also have now an AI assistant in that space that can answer questions and
Windy.
basically provide summaries. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yesterday I had one
Wendy, yeah.
session with the students. I used Windy a lot.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Awesome. Yeah, awesome. Great. So let's see. You've brought in now a bunch of these different biology assets. We've got all the human organs. We also have microbiology assets that we can bring in.
I also, yesterday some of the students were not able to join my session. They said that the code you provided is showing not available. But I was in the room, and with the same code I shared with them, but they said that we are not able to join you. What could be the reason?
So, the exact error message that they were receiving, was it that these modules haven't been purchased? Was it that this room isn't
I
available?
didn't ask this because Katie was in direct contact with the teacher. She was asking these things to her, but Katie said that they said the code I provided was not available. So I was in the room, but it was
So,
showing them not available.
okay, so and you were in the room, you had the session open,
Yeah,
right?
I shared the screenshot from this room as well. That this is the code I am, because on my wrist I see the code and pin as well, right? So I shared the same screenshot from there as well, but they still didn't, get in the class.
Okay. Did you confirm that all of the students were logged into their accounts?
Uh,
Because oftentimes an issue
Again,
I'll see is when,
Wendy was in contact with them directly. The only thing that I know, they said that it was not available. I'm just asking that, is there anything like that I was doing anything wrong, or anything like they were not able to join, or?
yeah. So the only reason that the students would not have been able to join your session would be, and some common sort of issues I see occur are, one, students try to join the session before the host has opened the session, right? So using the custom codes, the ones that have A at the beginning, I can share those codes with people beforehand before I even open the session. So I could have shared with you that today for our session, we're going to use this room code. If you try to join that room before I, as the host, have opened it, they're going to get an error that this room is not available. Um, some other options or issues could be that the students weren't logged into their accounts. So with VXR Labs, there are a handful of free modules. So anyone who downloads the app and starts it can jump into a few free experiences.
Mhm.
Oftentimes, students will open the application, they'll forget to sign in because it's not the first thing you have to do, and it's not required because there are those free experiences that don't require a sign in. Um,
Right,
and then those students will try to join a session in an experience that's a paid experience, and they won't be able to. It will say these modules are not purchased because they have not signed in. Other potential issues could be with internet connection strength. So if the student is in headset and they're connected to a network that they
good
don't have
speed.
access to 50 megabytes per second or more, they
Mhm.
can run into issues. Um, Typically, they'll have very long load screens, or they could potentially get kicked out of a session. Um, it won't usually prevent them from, well, it could, but that's typically not the case unless their internet speed is really slow. Those are really the main things that could potentially be an issue. Um, and so you've been working with, I guess Katie works with the schools directly, and you're, I guess, a tutor
Tutor,
in some
right?
capacity, right? Okay. And you've done a few sessions now with Katie or Danny for training and all.
Yeah, I did that.
Um, okay. And so, I'll have to check in with Katie, but maybe for your first session, or I guess it sounds like the students were able to get in eventually.
No, they were not able to get in actually.
I thought
Uh,
you had said you were in the
oh,
cadaver lab
sorry,
with Wendy and them.
Windy, but I was alone.
You were alone. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So for the next session that you have set up, I'm not entirely sure the structure or the format of those sessions, but maybe Katie or someone else from the
Katie
VictoryXR
asked
team
them
could be
that
there with you.
maybe if you need some kind of training. Uh, I saw the mail. I was in CC as well.
Hmm.
She wrote to Mary that you didn't join the session today, and there's one more tutor with me.
Hmm.
The students didn't join his session as well. So Katie wrote
Okay.
to Mary that your student didn't join the session today. What was the issue? Or maybe you can tell us and we will help you with that. So after that I didn't receive any reply from them. But waiting.
Okay.
Let's see what Katie will get from her. But yeah, I thought the same things as you mentioned, that these are the cases like purchase, internet slow, or maybe they joined before me. But I was already in the class, and that is not the case that they joined before me. They joined later, but they didn't they didn't get in the session. I don't know what could be
Okay.
the case.
I'm sending Katie a message right now. I want to check in with her just because I don't have all the information and I want to make sure that you're taken care of and you don't run into any issues.
But for me, you said these are the things that I need to check from my end as well. I should not, they should not join before me, and they should have good internet. They should have purchased all the modules
Hmm.
as well. And anything else apart from this?
Um,
Or maybe students didn't want to join the class and they said that it's not available. I'm not
uh,
sure.
I'd like to think that's not it, but you know, I mean, you never know.
Yeah.
Those are really the main things. And perhaps before we get off, maybe you can set up a session and I can practice joining it. I can join your session,
Yeah, I was thinking that.
as if I were a student, just to kind of like role play that interaction and make sure you're setting everything up and I have no issue getting into your session. We can do that.
Yeah,
So I definitely recommend, yeah, we maybe spend some time doing that towards the end after we spend some time in here.
sure. I think, yeah, that would be great.
Okay, so and now we've brought in a bunch of the different spawnables, right? So if you're teaching human biology, bringing in something like hemoglobin, DNA, COVID-19, chromosomes, any 3D models like that can obviously be really impactful for students to be able to see them, can make them larger, smaller. Students can
Right.
get hands-on with them. We can look at momentarily using the 3D pen and sticky notes. So Katie mentioned that she thought the issue was specifically with their internet. Um, so I don't think I think you were doing everything right on your end, and I think
Hmm.
it sounds like the students just didn't have access to
Oh,
the
did you
bandwidth that they
discuss with
needed to
Katie
join the
that
session.
you are having session with me today? I'm having session with you
Yep,
today.
I just sent her a message.
Okay.
But yeah, Katie obviously is a great resource, and if you have any questions or she can help you at all, you can always reach out
Yeah,
to her.
she is always there to help.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Great. So I see now you have the 3D pen in,
Mhm.
which can be helpful. It can add just another layer of immersion and interactivity. So if we have something like this carbon atom, what we can do with the 3D pen is we can go a little further. So maybe students are identifying electrons, maybe they're counting the number of electrons. So maybe they're 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so now instead of just students seeing the atom, seeing carbon, looking at the atomic structure, now they've also used the pen. They're walking around. So there's this element of kinesthetic learning where they're using their hands, they're drawing, and now that helps them, obviously retain that information that okay, a carbon atom has 6 electrons that are um, orbiting around the nucleus, right? So the 3D pen can be helpful for a lot of different things, whether it's labeling, whether it's drawing attention to certain things on an asset. Maybe we're looking at COVID-19. Maybe we're recreating an asset. We're drawing some rendition of it ourselves, trying to replicate exactly what we were seeing with the 3D model. Same thing applies to something like a DNA helix. Um, have you tried bringing in media files at all? So like images, videos, you can even bring in audio files or your own 3D model. So that's a bit more advanced. I don't really even have a great understanding of that. Awesome. So it looks like you've got
Uh,
video that you can now share. Yep.
yeah, I have this video, uh,
Made up of different organs and systems.
anatomy of heart.
One of these vital organs is the heart, which continuously
Yep.
pumps
So
blood throughout the
so
body.
this I think the best way to use VR in the most impactful way is if we can interweave these different tools. So we have maybe first the video that looks at all the human organs and whatnot, and then maybe alongside that we actually have a 3D model, right, of the human heart. So students are seeing first the video, they're getting an understanding of what they'll be learning about. Then they're also learning about the heart in a slightly different way with the 3D model. So we can do something like split this heart open, and
Mm-hmm.
now they can actually look, they can get hands-on, they can see all the inner chambers. They've seen the video, now they're getting hands-on with the 3D model, and then they can do something like bring in the 3D pen, right? So
Yeah,
maybe they're now using the 3D pen to label a certain part of the heart, or maybe they're looking at the uh, circulatory system and how blood comes in this way and goes out, out that way.
circulatory
We can also
system.
use, yeah, we can also bring in sticky notes, which are helpful. So in our special objects collection, we have our scratch pad.
Okay, sticky notes is available where?
Yep. So
Spawnables.
if you open the spawnables and in that special objects collection, you'll see also on the third row down, you'll see scratch pad.
Okay, yeah, scratch pad.
We also have within the asset library what we call specialty spawnables, which do a bit more. So like the floor swappers would be specialty spawnables, the sky boxes, but we also have assets like our sticky notes, we have our 3D pen, we have some math assets like coordinate points that are tied to invisible grid lines in the space. So for example, with this grid point, you'll see y is 2.0, that's 2 meters. That also corresponds to two grid squares. And that also corresponds to being 2 meters. So my avatar is like about 6 feet tall. So you'll see it's right at the top of my head. We can bring in coordinate planes to actually, and we can line them up. So you'll see, uh,
By the way, actually,
so
I'm recording this session. Is that okay for you? Just for me.
yeah, of course.
Okay,
No problem at all.
sure.
Yeah. So this grid, we've brought in the grid coordinate plane now, and
Hmm.
there are essentially millions of invisible lines going throughout this entire space. And so when I take this coordinate point and I put it up on this second grid square, you'll see it says y is 2.0. So it aligns with the actual coordinate plane that I've brought in. Um, some other specialty spawnables, if you join me over here, these climbing bars are interactive, which means I can make them really large and then I can actually physically climb up them. So
Oh, that's
we've had a
cool.
few instructors, yeah. And then once you get to the top, you can teleport. I'd recommend teleporting onto the top of this. So you'll have to hold on. Yep, nice. So now we're up on top of this. So I've seen instructors do something like sort of like almost like an escape room activity where maybe the students have to come, they have to climb, and then maybe you're up here and you have a question for them, or you're using a sticky note and a 3D model and a video to prompt. They have to answer some sort of question or something, and if they get it right, they can continue on to the next one, or if they get it wrong, they have to try again, or maybe it's a race or something. So a lot of different ways that you can create small activities that keep students engaged and interested and learning, but also having fun with doing so.
Yeah, this is great. Like we can see other spawnables there on the ground, and uh, we can
Yeah,
we can point from here as well, right? And yeah,
yeah,
sticky notes will also help. That was really great. I didn't know about that as well. I need to check all the
yeah,
spawnables. And these, yeah, I have done some practice with these. Is it Mars or what?
yeah. That is Mercury and Venus, but
Okay.
you can bring in all the planets, and they're all actually designed to scale of each other. So if bring in the Earth, you'll notice if we were down on the ground with those grid squares, it would Earth, the rendering of it is 1 meter by 1 meter, and
One quick question
all the
here.
planets are.
Uh,
Yeah,
you are bringing all these from spawnables, but I can I save this in my layout?
yeah, absolutely.
Like
So
your these all the atoms, all the organs, whatever you have brought
yeah,
here, I can see
yeah,
later in my layout, right? Whenever I want to
yes.
bring it.
So
Okay.
there's one important distinction here, though. Right now, I have two Earths, right? And
Mm-hmm.
if you aim at both and you pull down the front trigger on either controller, you'll see there's a should be a blue circle around this one, right?
Right.
And but there's no circle around this one.
That's locked
You
actually,
can't.
right?
Yep, yep.
Yeah, I know about it.
So in the spawnables menu,
Mm-hmm.
I've brought in, except this Earth, everything else in here is a shared spawnable, which means that anyone else in the session can include it in their layout.
Mm-hmm.
But if I brought in all of these spawnables and did not share them, you would not be able to save that layout as your own.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Great.
So when you open the layout menu, do you know how to get there from the spawnable section?
Right.
Once you open spawnables up in the top right, you'll see layouts.
Right. Downloading layouts from Nexus. I have one
Okay.
question in Nexus as well.
Mm-hmm.
I will
Yeah,
discuss that later
absolutely.
after this, right?
Yeah, we can cover that at the end. So with the layout menu open, you'll see first current layout. If you have any, that's going to be a drop down
Same.
where you can access ones you've
Yeah.
previously saved. Below that, you'll see two options, either capture all or capture only shared. So if I were to select capture all, that would include all of the shared spawnables I brought in, so that blue version of the Earth. And if I hit capture all, it would also include this white version of the Earth. But just for me, because that's my spawnable, you would
Mm-hmm.
not be able to save it. If I selected capture only shared, that would only include the shared ones, whether you've brought them in, whether I brought them in,
I
but it would
okay.
not include this white one that I brought in as a locked spawnable.
So I'm selecting the
Does that make
capture only
sense?
shared blue spawnables for now. Okay.
Yep. And so
Then
that would then just, it wouldn't save any that you've brought in that are white, but I think the ones you've brought in so far, if you've brought in any, are all blue. So that's perfect. And it will save now all of these assets I've brought in as well. So I can, once you have it saved, I can delete them all and we'll reload it and we'll see all of them reappear.
okay. Let me save it then.
Okay.
Uh, I will give it a name like Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Chris assets. Okay, I'm saying the save layout. Oh, I have three options on the right. Send current layout to Nexus. I know about it, but I just want to have clear explanation on these three. Can you explain these?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So now that you've saved that layout, if you
Mm-hmm.
want it to appear in your Nexus account, so you want to be able to access it on the web, to
Mm-hmm.
download it, share it, what you'll do is you'll now hit send current layout to Nexus, and that will trigger the automatic transfer or the manual transfer process. It will then become available in your Nexus account. So once you hit that, when we go to Nexus after this, you'll see that chris.vxr file there. Does that
Uh,
make sense?
yeah, I have that here in the drop down.
Okay, so once you have that selected and you press send current layout to Nexus, that will trigger it to transfer that to your web-based account as well. So
Okay,
you can access it on your computer.
okay,
Load current layout will simply load the layout that you currently have selected there.
okay. From the drop down. Okay,
Yep, and then refresh from Nexus. So if I went on my computer right now, shared a layout with you, you uploaded it to your Nexus, it wouldn't automatically appear. You have to hit that refresh from Nexus. Like if we're in a session together
sorry,
and
sir.
you've
Can
just
can you
uploaded
repeat
it.
that again? Refresh from Nexus.
Yeah, yep. So right now on your web-based account, you probably don't have any layouts saved, right? If we go to Nexus and you look, if I saved this layout and I emailed it to you
Mm-hmm.
and you downloaded it and you uploaded it to that Nexus account
Mm-hmm.
while we were still in this session in headset together, and
Right.
you just uploaded that layout to your Nexus account and you wanted to now access it in this session,
In this session, right?
you could hit refresh from Nexus, and that will then basically ask Nexus, "Hey, have any layouts been uploaded in the last few minutes
Right.
while I've been in this
Okay.
session that I'm not seeing right now, but have been uploaded and I'd like to access?" And that will then sync them together.
Okay. It will automatically sync that particular module from there, from web to this session.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. Right.
Okay.
So it would then
That's
appear for
offline
you in that
offline
drop
kind of
down.
thing, uploading from Nexus account in the web, then refreshing, and that will bring us here. Okay, got
Yeah.
that point. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. I think with this
Okay.
space editor. Uh, is there anything
Do you
else
have that
like?
layout saved?
Yeah, I saved, and yeah, you can yeah, delete that.
And then if you want to bring it back in, you may have to, yeah.
I saved it, but I only can see only two here. I already clicked
Okay.
on send current layout to Nexus. Then I only see two
So when you
in dropdown.
in the drop down, do you see the one that do you see one named titled? I think you said you were naming it like Chris.
No, I don't see that here. I named it Chris assets, but I don't see that in my layouts.
Okay, let's try it. I'm just gonna bring a few random things in. I actually have to share these. Okay. Okay, so why don't let's have you go to the menu and go to layouts
Okay, I will go back
and
to layouts. Still, I don't see your. I see only two on the only ones that I have saved before.
so let's save this layout now. It's not necessarily useful, but just for the practice of trying it,
Okay,
let's do
this one.
so you'll select first capture. You can select capture only shared, or you could you select either one for our purposes. And then save spawnables as a layout. You'll title it, and then you'll press the save layout button.
Okay, I saved this now with Chris assets.vxr. Okay, capture only shared blue
Okay,
spawnables. Then I will.
and you
Yeah.
okay, and let me know as soon as that's saved.
Yeah, it is saved in the drop down. I can see three now.
Okay, so do you want to? I just deleted them. Do you want to select that now and try to load it?
Okay. Load current layout, right?
Yep. There you go. So those are now the assets that I just had in here a moment ago that you saved.
But I did the same thing in the previous one.
I mean, I know I like it can be easy to forget to hit that last save button that can occur.
It was there
There's no
in the
reason
drop
like
down. Okay, that's fine.
there's no reason it like we just tested it and it worked. There's no reason that I
Mm.
mean, yeah, it can be easy to miss a button or something. That's what I would attribute that to. Because like we just tested it and it worked. So, and if you want to try it again, we can. But
Okay, that's fine. I think we are good. Yeah, I can try that. I can practice by myself later. That's fine for
mhm.
now in this. Yeah, you were saying that I will share the private code with you and you will join my session. Let's try that. Just
Okay.
joining the session, not doing anything else. Okay.
hmm
Uh,
Yeah.
and later
So I'm gonna
after that.
unmute on the Google Meet.
Okay.
Yep. I'm gonna end the session and I'll unmute on the video call.
Okay. The room code will be A73156 and pin will be 6564. Okay. Are you able to join? Okay. It seems the issue was with their
So you did
network.
everything right. Yeah. Yep. You did
I was
everything right
I
there.
was
So
really confused yesterday. Why are not they able to join the session?
yeah,
But
I
now I
know
think that
it's
it's not my fault.
um yeah, I did a student orientation last night with 30 students from New Mexico State University, and there are always a few students who have some issue, and it's just I think with this new technology, there are a lot of different variables at play, and things can happen. But you've done everything right with setting up the room, so I do think was probably connected to their internet speed, their bandwidth. That was probably preventing them. But it sounds like Katie said they have that figured out now.
Yeah, I think the same. They might have problem with the internet. Okay, I think
Yeah.
yeah, I can just end this session from my end here, and
Okay.
we will jump to Google Meet. I just have one question on Nexus account. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'll see you over there.